Harry and Meghan take their audience for fools. They blame everybody but themselves. They present even the most incendiary of claims with no evidence. And sadly, the impact is real. The royal family is getting damaged. The monarchy is getting tarnished. Prince Harry surely...
The Sussex saga, how it all started. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're looking at the biggest blow-ups between Piers Morgan and the Sussexes. Get ready, it's going to be a wild ride. From that shocking Oprah interview to angry on-air fights and Twitter wars, we're breaking down every controversial comment, every dramatic outburst and every shocking reveal. Get ready for a tell-all look at one of the most talked-about feuds lately. The Oprah interview. A 2-hour trash fest. Now you all know I always speak my mind, and the Oprah interview was no different. This wasn't just a friendly chat about tea and cookies. No way. This was a planned PR attack on the royal family. A 2-hour trash fest were my exact words, and I'm sticking to them. To air your dirty laundry like that, to accuse without proof, it was just awful. And about those claims, well, let's just say I had some big questions.
As now a traitor to the country that he once served. Where Harry and Meghan debacle touched down in Germany today after a whistle-stop tour of the UK, in which they didn't find time to meet any of their family, who all hate them because they hate them. They did meet a lot of strangers, of course, and Meghan was supposed to be lecturing young people about equality, which is her favourite subject from her Californian mansion. But instead, she stuck to her specialist subject, the one she currently really loves, which is talking about herself.
I'm so grateful to be in your company today. I was first invited to be a counselor at One Young World. I was probably a lot like each of you. How am I here? And there I was the girl from Suits. And I was surrounded by world leaders. I was so overwhelmed by this experience. I think I even saved my little paper place card. Proof that I was there, I belonged. I was so nervous. I doubted myself, and I wondered if I was good enough to even be there, what I was doing in the world, albeit important and meaningful as far as I saw it, was it deserving? One Young World saw in me, just as I see in you. My life had changed rather significantly, and I was now a mom. And I would ask, what is this world he would come to adopt? And what can we do? What can I do to make it better?
I don't know. What could you do to make it better? You're just so special. And how did you get to sit at the top table with all the world leaders, Meghan? Oh, could it be because you married a British prince and then dragged him out of his country? Off to your California mansion to fleece your royal titles. Anyway, 54 times she mentioned herself in a 7-minute speech. Even I haven't done that in a speech. That gives you some idea of the scale of the Netflix narcissist. My question really is, how can they be allowed to do this? To run around like a rival royal family, including in this country, a country they've been trashing, with a monarchy they've been trashing, with a royal family they've been trashing. Why do we let this happen?
When people like Meghan Markle are held up as you say, the standard bearers of feminism and, you know, social justice, ridiculous, because she is obviously so far removed from the concerns and troubles of the vast majority of women. And this idea that we have now among, you know, certain parts of the liberal, by the way, not left or socialist, liberal elements of politics, is that, you know, we need, you know, rich women to like lean in and give inspirational speeches and kind of show everyone else how to be. But ultimately, it's just the same part of this like weird cult of celebrity that distracts people from the real issues that are affecting their lives. And
I mean,
I'm a Republican. I don't care.
Fascinating piece in the New York Times has just come out. Headlined, has Prince Harry's confessional tour run its course? Even in the United States, the New York Times says, which has a high tolerance for redemptive stories about overcoming trauma and family dysfunction, the tide seems to be turning. It's one thing to be criticised, it's another to be openly ridiculed. That's pretty heavy coming from the New York Times.
It is, because they would be very much on Harry and Meghan's side. But one does sense that, well, there's still, you know, quite a strong bedrock of opinion in favour of them. that they are less popular than they were over here. And, you know, there's only so much moaning that you can put up with, isn't there?
Given they've caused so much damage to the institutional reputation of the monarchy, why would they want to be a coronation of a new monarch?
Given the fact that they have raised difficulties that they have had...
Well, they said the royals were racist then, so we didn't mean to say they were racist.
That's what we're talking about, the problems that they have raised. Let's be clear about that.
Well, they lied.
And the problems that they have raised are really serious issues.
They lied.
Mental health issues, issues around domestic abuse, issues around race and colour and prejudice.
Why do you believe them?
But it's not about whether I believe them.
Why?
It's not
well,
about whether I believe them.
Without any proof.
What it's about is that they think it's true. And what you need to understand is...
No, of course it's not, Paula. It's got nothing to do with whether they think it's true.
Something's either true or it's not.
Thank you, Anne Widdecombe.
True or not.
If that was the case, then I wouldn't be in a job.
What?
The fact is, your truth may not be my truth.
No, there's only the
truth.
How you define
Paula, there is no my truth.
You and I may interpret things differently, but there is a factual truth.
Paula,
and it will be very different to the two of us.
The mental health discussion, did they go too far? Look, I've always said that mental health is important, and we should never take it lightly. But something about those claims felt off. Call me skeptical, but the timing, the lack of details, it all felt very convenient. And yes, I said I had doubts, which is my right. This caused a huge uproar, people calling me heartless, insensitive, you name it. But you know me, I'm never going to back down from a fight, especially when I think I'm telling the truth. Chapter 3. Leaving GMB, the walk-off. Everyone saw. Ah yes, that unforgettable morning on Good Morning Britain. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. We were talking about, you guessed it, the Sussexes, when my dear colleague decided to attack me personally. Now I can handle criticism, but this was different. This was a clear attempt to silence me, to stop the discussion, and I won't stand for that. So I did what any person with self-respect would do. I walked off. Some said it was unprofessional. I say it was staying true to myself.
That doesn't mean that either of us are wrong.
Hello?
I know, and I'm choosing to ignore you.
My show. It's my show, and I'll cut off your mic in a minute. Here's the bottom line. There is no my truth, your truth. There is the truth.
One truth.
And you know what really got my goat about those two? Was the two most damaging things they said in that first Oprah wine-a-thon were that the royals have been racist to them, about the skin colour of their son, and that secondly, Meghan Markle had gone to a senior palace person who had banned her from getting help for her suicidal thoughts. Neither of those things appear in his book. He's already reined back now on the racism charge, said that's not what he meant, when we all know that's exactly what they meant. They said it. We watched them say it. And secondly, Richard, on the mental health thing, again, a very big weapon to hurl at the palace, that they were callous about her suicidal thoughts. Not a word has been mentioned since. Nothing in the Netflix documentary, nothing in the book. I don't think it happened. Harry and Meghan, currently the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, famously gushed about their love of chickens in one of the more saccharine moments of their Oprah Winfrey sobfest. Well, the chickens are now coming home to roost for these two. The royal family kept a stoic silence as the poisoned darts rained down from their Californian pedestal, but King Charles is quietly and devastatingly taking charge now. We now know that he booted the couple out of their palatial Frogmore cottage just 24 hours after Harry's book Spare, or Spare Me as I call it, was published. We also now know that Harry and Meghan's popularity is cratered on both sides of the Atlantic, with polls showing even Prince Andrew is now more popular than they are in America, as well as now being offered the keys to their house. And we also now know that in America, where they've strained every sinew to become much-loved celebrities, they're actually viewed like this.
So let me start with you, Sam. You've lived a life with the royal family, you've had everything handed to you, but you say your life has been hard, and now you've written all about it in your new book, Where? Yes, that's right, friend. You see, my wife and I are totally like, you should write a book because your family like stupid and then so are like journalists.
There's now a clear divide in the royal family, the workers and the shirkers, the heavy lifters and the grifters. The Prince and Princess of Wales saluted Welsh Guards yesterday at St David's Day Parade. Camilla, the Queen Consort, recovering from a recent bout of COVID, was promoting children's literature. King Charles is preparing to make state visits to Germany and France in his first royal tour as monarch. Meghan Markle, meanwhile, made a state visit to a coffee shop which sells superfood lattes inspired by holistic ingredients from around the world. And Prince Harry had another outing on US late-night television, the leftovers of a previous interview taped on his self-pity tour.
Harry, what is the best sandwich?
I would say a cheese and ham toastie with Dijon mustard on top.
And a toastie means grilled? Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Unbelievable. Reviews for Harry and Meghan's big-budget Netflix series have so far been less than kind. Unimaginative and frustrating, said Hollywood's Bible, Variety magazine. So sickening, I almost brought up my breakfast, said the woke Bible, The Guardian. Or the intimacy of Instagram, sneered the normally timid New York Times. Prince Harry mauls his own brother. He accuses his father, the new king, of being a liar. Even has a dig at his late great-grandmother, the Queen, for standing by and doing nothing. The royal family is directly accused of destroying two of its own to protect itself. And I don't know where it all stops, all this. Where does it end? We've got the book, and then we've got the interview circuit, and so it goes on. It's all apparently a dark plot by Britain and the royals to smear the poor, defenceless, vulnerable Sussexes. Trickery, treachery, hypocrisy. And if there's one conclusion to draw from the final instalment of their Netflix series, it's that Prince Harry surely is now a traitor to the country that he once served.
William and I both saw what happened in our dad's office, and we made an agreement that we would never let that happen to our office. And to see my brother's office copy the very same thing that we promised the two of us would never ever do, that was heartbreaking. It was terrifying to have my brother scream and shout at me and my father say things that just simply weren't true, and my grandmother, quietly sit there and sort of take it all in. They're happy to lie to protect my brother, and yet for 3 years, they were never willing to tell the truth to protect us.
Unbelievable. This blistering attack, not only on the institution of the monarchy, but also personally against the senior royals who represent our country around the world, is, in my view, beyond contempt. In their selfish, vapid attempts to rewrite history, recasting themselves as victims, these two have sold their souls, and they've sold Harry's family down the river. It's unforgivable, and it will leave a bitter taste in the mouths of millions of people. We also learned that Harry can't begin to understand why people might prefer Catherine, the Princess of Wales, who, of course, never complains, never explains, and just does her duty.
This is how it was covered for her. This is how it was covered for her. If you don't see the difference and understand why it's being reported that way, then I can't help you.
Chapter 4. Twitter wars Prince Harry jumps in. It didn't take long for Prince Harry himself to join the fight. Now, I've always respected Harry, war hero, charming guy, but his recent actions have been honestly disappointing. He seems to have traded his principles for a life of Hollywood fakeness. And so, on Twitter, the battle began. Insults were thrown back and forth, and the world watched. Was it classy? Maybe not. Was it entertaining? Absolutely. Chapter 5. The final decision. Fake or mistreated? So, what do I think about the Sussexes now after everything has calmed down? Well, I'll say this. They're definitely an interesting couple in a train wreck kind of way. They say they want privacy, but they're always in the spotlight. They talk about kindness, yet they seem to have betrayed their own families. Are they victims of a mean media, or did they cause their own problems? I'll let you decide. Outro, the argument continues. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more exciting videos. Let us know in the comments whose side you're on in this royal battle. Did I go too far, or was I just saying what everyone was thinking? This is a fight that's not over, and I have a feeling the Sussexes will keep giving us lots to talk about for years to come.